Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for this launch of our new product, Deep Lookup. Together with me here, Ariel, our Chief Product Officer, and Daniel, the Product Manager responsible for Deep Lookup. Before showing the product and using it, let's go into a quick high-level explanation of how we, Bright Data, perceive the current AI industry, obviously from the data point of view. So the three elements that we're seeing that every AI company is interested to win in is the algorithm, the actual code, and the people who writes it, the compute, and the data. Now, the current trends that we're seeing are that as for the algorithm, the open source and open weights becoming more and more popular and actually closing the gap from the closed source. When it comes to compute, we're seeing that it's just easier and cheaper and faster to do more with less. And when it comes to data, we're seeing that data becomes a bigger moat. And also the amount of data that is required to train the models is increasing in an exponential pace. Now, just to remind everyone what we're doing for the last decade here in Bright Data, this is the current product step that we have. We started with a proxy infrastructure that includes every type of IP address that you can think of as a one-stop shop for everyone who needs to approach the internet through a different IP. On top of that, we build the unblocking technologies with products such as the Web Unlocker and the SERP API and many others. Most recently, we launched the browser agent infrastructure that includes the more mature scraping browser and also the recent browser.ai product. And eventually, at the peak of the iceberg, we're seeing the data feeds, which includes products such as datasets, which is the marketplace, different scraper APIs, an IDE in which you can develop your own scraping code, and the web archive, which is something fairly new that we've worked on for a long time. And this is what we want to talk about right now because it's the basis for Deep Lookup. What you're seeing here is our effort in the last year to actually use all of the product stack and the technology that we've built in the last decade to try and collect as much as we can from the internet. We're talking about roughly 200 billion pages that we have collected so far. And by the end of next year, 2026, we'll reach 500 billion web pages. This is a huge amount. It represents a huge amount of the internet. And we realized that if we have all of this with the ability to scrape and collect real-time data, we actually have a new product. And this is what Deep Lookup is all about. Deep Lookup sits on top of all of what I just showed you, all of the infrastructure that we've built. Index all of this data. We're talking about the entire data archive, real-time web access, unique data sets that we collected and curated and qualified for years, and specifically hard to scrape websites that no other company in the world can collect the data from. So this is what we're going to launch right now. And Daniel, while you're setting up the environment, Ariel, maybe you can share some insights on why we chose the name and what it actually means.
So the name Deep Lookup, really the operative word is deep. Deep Lookup can generate incredible insights from tons of information, petabytes of data that we have collected. And this is different compared to traditional deep search engines or search engines in general. We look at petabytes and petabytes of structured web data that we have collected over time, and we provide real-time access to any kind of website, including websites that are normally not accessible by other search tools.
So why won't we see a real demo?
Let's dive in. I have a simple yet complex business question that I want to ask. I want to find all quantum computing startups worldwide that raise seed and CSA in the last or during the past 12 months. I would like the prompt to, since I'm going to get it in a table structure, I want to decide what I want to see on that table. I want to see the company name, the headquarters, where it's located in the country, last funding round, and lead investor in Core Quantum Technology.
And I'm seeing that it always starts with the words find all.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Since we are looking for the whole web and through millions and billions of public data points, we always start with find all. That's the basic structure of the query. Here we have advanced structured lookup, which basically enable you to enhance your query and enrich with additional data points that after we initiate the deep lookup. Maybe let's start with just hit the run button and see what we're going to get.
Ariel, while it's thinking how the product is going to evolve, this is a beta, we're launching it now. How's the roadmap is going to look like?
So the roadmap, basically, we're going to go even deeper. So we want to make more data available for this engine to look at in a more structured way and easier to search way, and provide access to even more websites that normally are inaccessible to other search tools.
So it's all about the depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here we can look at structured lookup. We have an overview of how the deep lookup took our query and enhanced it. We can add another additional custom colors that you may be interested. For example, the CEO name of those companies. But let's start with just generating the data set and let deep lookup work.
So now it's going into our web archive and also real time to the web
Yeah.
if the data doesn't exist in the archive, right?
Yeah, compared to other research tools available out there, the deep lookup searches through thousands and millions of public data points, plus available to our public data set that available on our marketplace. It's analyzing and matching and finding matching record that accordingly to your query.
And I see that it can take a while. Ariel,
Yeah.
how long does it take to actually complete such a task?
It can take 5, 10, 20 minutes, as usually depends. It depends on the query, on the complexity of the query, on how much data is being processed. But we must remember that this replaces, in many cases, hours, days, or weeks of humans' time. So just while this is running, I'll give you another example, maybe it's from a different industry. So let's say that you are a battery manufacturer, you make AA batteries, and you're looking for toy and gadget manufacturers that you can sell your batteries to, that they would come with the product. You can write a natural language query which will say, I'm a manufacturer, I make batteries, I want to find toy or gadget manufacturers that need batteries in the product. Give me a big table of that and sort that by the volume of units that they sell every year. That will go through our data sets, that will browse the internet, that will look for reviews, that it's going to go through 1 million data points. And at the end, which could take 20 minutes or more, depending, will give you a sorted table of all your target customers. So yes, it can take a few minutes, 10, 20, doesn't really matter, but it can replace weeks of someone going through a lot of raw data.
Yeah.
I see it's already starting to fill up.
Yeah, it's already working, and we see around 15 records. Here, for example, we can see that each record or each value inside of a field is validated behind reasoning and citation to make sure that this data point is really verified.
So we're always transparent, showing what are the data sources that were used to get
Yeah.
to this conclusion.
Yeah, absolutely. While it's working, you can always add, if you're missing any data point on the table, you can add another column, write down, let's say you want the CEO names of the provided company, and we will start generate the column.
So it's actually a tool that lives with me and breathes with me, and the more I go deeper into the analysis, I can add more and more columns.
Yes, and immediately it will start collecting this information and make sure that it's verified.
So maybe another example, I'm going to jump in here. Let's say that you're interested if this is a good company to work at, or if this is a good company to invest in. You can ask a query such as, are people happy working in this company? And Deep Lookup will go and dig through Glassdoor datasets and forums and blog posts and Instagram posts and Twitter rants and whatever you want to compile a comprehensive answer to that very,
Absolutely.
big, unstructured question.
And we'll always show you also the resources. That
We'll
is
always show you
relying
the
on.
citations so you can go back and find the source of the information.
Yeah.
So Daniel, actually that recent feature of the enrichment, it's interesting. We also added it to our existing dataset marketplace.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe we can see.
Yeah, let's move on to the dataset marketplace. Here I will go dive to LinkedIn profile data set. We have more than 600 million profiles, LinkedIn profiles available on that data set. And what we did, we took deep lookup search capabilities on the web and enhance it to our data set. Basically, our current data set is strict to only the public data points that are available on LinkedIn profiles. And with the deep lookup capabilities, we can enrich it and get access to any data point out there on the web. Let's just try a quick test. I want to create another enriched column that for each LinkedIn profile, I want to understand if this profile is a decision maker or not. I already wrote here an example, and I write in the prompt that I want to decide if this person likely to be a decision maker or influencer in this organization. I will select an existing data point that's available from LinkedIn profile data set. For
This is
example,
actually a context for the prompt to understand what
Exactly.
you're referring to.
it's providing more comprehensive context so it can give you a more accurate results. I selected position and current company, including experience, and we're gonna run it.
Again, I'm going to jump in. You can
Yeah,
add more
go
stuff.
ahead, go ahead.
You can ask, for example, something like, my company does ABC. How likely is this person working in this company to be a potential buyer for my product?
Yeah,
And again, Deep Lookup will go into many sources to evaluate that, give you some kind of a score, and give you the sources for that.
Yeah.
yeah,
And actually, what we're seeing right now on the screen, the enrichment part that you're showing us, you can run it on any data set, right? Not
Yeah.
even on a Bright Data set.
yeah. You can run it on every data set out there. Yeah,
So now it shows us yes, no, likely, and things like that.
yeah. Basically, here we can see how it validated a person based on his background. Here we can see a profile that is the CEO of this company.
So more likely to be a decision.
Likely a decision maker. We want to approach this CEO with products that you want to sell and approach to.
Great.
Yeah,
So thank you, Ariel. Thank you, Daniel.
you.
Thank you, everyone,
you.
for joining. We're very excited launching Deep Lookup and all of the features coming with it to all of our products. This is going to be live right now, and it's going to be improved on a daily basis based on your feedback. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.